Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Grace Holland. As we head into the weekend, all eyes continue to be on Pinehurst, where the U.S. Open is underway. WRAL has comprehensive coverage of the tournament. Of course, we've been talking about it here on the Daily Download the last couple of days. Today, I wanted to share a story that's a little bit of a different take on what's been going on in the Pinehurst community during the tournament. There is a fundraiser that's hoping to join forces with these golf fans. If you've been down to Pinehurst, you may already know that there's a lot of military families around that area, and many of them are, of course, stationed at Fort Liberty. So there's this organization called the Duskin Stevens Foundation, and they've set up this beer garden near the course to raise money in the form of scholarships for kids of Special Operations service members. You may know them as Green Berets. So the story all started with a pitch from one of our photojournalists here at WRAL, Sean Braswell. Now, you may not know his face, but I would think that you've definitely seen his work. He's actually behind the lens for our Tar Heel Traveler segments. And Sean and I were working on a different story this week, and he told me about this event, and I was just really interested in this idea of bringing these two very big parts of the Pinehurst community together during one of the biggest weeks for this town. So Sean and I drove down there. You know, we fought a little bit of traffic to get past where you go in to go to the course and get over to the social district of Pinehurst. That's, of course, where you can take beers around in that certain area. And that is when we met Ryan Massaro. What's your title with the foundation?
I'm the board chairman.
Now, he's also a Green Beret himself.
I've been in special operations since 1996, believe it or not, but a Green Beret since 2006 and about ready to retire, so happy about all that and happy that this foundation gets to kind of keep me in the community as well.
So tell me a little bit about what the foundation is and why you founded it.
Yeah. So Duskin and Stevens Foundation, it's in the names of the two, my two teammates that we memorialized from the beginning, Mike Duskin and Riley Stevens, who were both killed back in 2012. I mean, both these guys were just warriors. Like they were, exactly what America needed over the last 20 years. And they truly lived for what was going on in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in those places. They were warriors that died on the battlefield, and we wanted to honor them for exactly that, for what they were.
So he told me they started this fundraiser for the Riley and Stevens families, and now that money goes to other special operations families.
Originally we gave the Duskins and the Stevens families, we just raised money and split it in half, gave it to them. When we started our second event, they were like, we don't want the money, so we help other Gold Star families in need, whatever that may be. It could be, we sent a Gold Star family to Disney World, for example, something to celebrate with the kids. And we've helped out others with, if there's some sort of financial need, or we've also helped with education scholarships with them as well.
And that is when these scholarships start to pick up and come in.
But we have a scholarship program that's K through 12 for children of active special operators. Those scholarships are $3,000 a year for 3 years, $9,000 in total. So we develop a relationship with those families. We have 43 scholarships recipients on the rolls right now, and I think we're at little shy of 850,000 in total scholarship awards for the foundation, which is awesome. I think next year we should be right at that $1 million mark, which will be great.
So we're talking to Ryan on this sort of empty lot there. This was given to them for this event by the property owner. And basically there's all these different businesses that have set up booths where you can come by and get a beer, and just have a good time. They have a stage set up, chairs, tables, so people can just kind of hang out. And while we were there, Ryan introduced me to the Rush family. Sue Ellen's husband is in special operations. We were talking to her, and she was telling me that they got a scholarship for their son, Cole, who now uses that money to go to a private Christian school.
That kind of came about because my husband served on a team with Riley Stevens, and so they were pretty close. We are close with the whole Stevens family, and so our son was in public school, and the safety is not the best. So applying for the scholarship and knowing that a fellow team member can actually help out our son is fantastic.
And when I was talking to her, she's standing there with her son Cole, and they're wearing these volunteer t-shirts because they actually were there to help out with this event. So they've received money for this scholarship, and now they're kind of paying it forward. You may have noticed there that she said that their family is close to the Stevens family. And of course, that's the Stevens, the namesake for this organization, or at least one of those namesakes. Cole has actually become really good friends with Riley Stevens' daughter.
He's my age, a little older than by a few months, that he likes to point out a lot.
So that's 14-year-old Riley Stevens. She shares her name with her dad. She was 2 when he died in combat.
But I also got to meet him when he wasn't on a deployment. He one time took me to this horse show, and I just remember us winning like this blue ribbon that I have hanging right here in the photo. And it's just nice knowing that we still have these like little memories, because I did get to build bonds with him. And I am told a lot that I have his personality by my mother, because I have his spunk apparently.
She now helps out with the foundation's events a lot, and she told me she even gave a speech at the main fundraiser, which is a cookout the week of Memorial Day. And she says it just really means a lot to be able to help out with this organization that's raising money in her dad's name to help other kids. I've covered a few military stories over the years when I worked in Greenville and Greensboro, and I know that these families have just such a tight bond and just really come together to help each other anytime that they can. But what struck me walking around this beer garden was how many of these local businesses had jumped in too. A couple of them are veteran-owned, but not all of them. And that really showed me the unique support that the military community gets from businesses here, from civilians, and then a lot of those civilians being golfers, people who are coming here to the resort or who've moved here and, wanted to be close to the resort. These two groups are just really intertwined here in a really interesting way. Having the U.S. Open is sort of a reason to hold this particular event. Like, how important is the U.S. Open to the economy in this area and just, the work that you guys are trying to do in this situation?
Yeah, so again, so Pinehurst exists before Fort Liberty existed, or for Fort Bragg when it was started, right? And so this community, this golf community would be here, and then you add on Fort Bragg, now Fort Liberty, and it's just a neat synergy, and that has enabled the community to just grow more and become more year-round because of the military presence here. But I think the community in general has just been so supportive of everything to do military. I mean, and the volunteers that come out of the woodwork for all things related to military nonprofits has just been wonderful. Yeah.
The beer garden in the village of Pinehurst, benefiting the Duskin and Stevens Foundation, is open Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. for those of you that are interested in stopping by. Thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. Another great way to get WRAL news is the Morning Briefing newsletter. It's a daily email that's waiting in your inbox every morning with local news, events, and headlines to get you ready for the day. Sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter.